Honestly, this show is still really good. It's different from other Scooby Doo shows. It tries to be more serious, have more lore, have more storylines that connect. Unlike all the other Scooby Doo stuff where you just like unmask a monster and that's that. They have a basic formula. This one is a formula too, but not as much as the other one did. I still don't know why they made Fred as goofy as they did in this show when they were clearly trying to go for a more serious thing. It's weird. Shaggy and Velma dating was even weirder. Like the dude that eats dog food is the girl that Velma wants to date. Okay, that's not forced at all. They also had like a gay episode. But since it's a kid show and conservatives and right wingers would complain about grooming our children when a gay person simply exists in a kid show, it's not right out there, but it's clearly a gay couple. There's a love potion episode, everybody falls in love, Fred and Daphne, Shaggy and Velma. A divorced couple get back together, and then once the love potion wears off, they don't like each other anymore. But the sheriff and the mayor are dancing together in one scene, and it's a love potion that makes people fall in love. So, it was kind of cool. In the Gator episode that has not aged well, there's a slur in there, the G slur, on Scooby Doo. Not Scooby. When Fred reads all this stuff about, like, past people they've captured, and he refers to one of them as the G slur. Not good. There's also a sex joke, like, where they just straight up say, like, the sex position. And now with modern day technology, all it does is take a Google search to look up what, we want to find out something. There's phones and computers. I'm not going to pretend like there's not back in 2011 when this show came out. But nowadays, when people don't understand something, they go straight to Google. So when Fred started talking about playing Happy Tapioca with pudding with some wrestling dudes, I looked it up immediately. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, that was weird. There's also a pretty funny joke where they realized they forgot. Because it's been like a running thing throughout the Scooby Doo series, even in this, that they usually show, if they do an episode where people get like hurt in the beginning, they explain that person's A-okay. They're fine. They're not dead. They're fine. They're injured or they got kidnapped, but they're fine. Here's an episode with a man crab where two people get pulled under sand and we never see them again. And that was like episode 4. Episode 21, they bring that couple back just for them to get attacked. So now we know they're okay. Maybe they'll do it again in season 2. What else? Oh, I think Bucky was in another episode. The dude that was in the... What episode? Siren Song was cool. The Hex Girls make another appearance. I forgot about that in Fear of the Phantom. Oh, one thing I definitely want to mention is that there is like this girl that they did this like setup with. She pretended to be one of the gang's old villains, the Creeper, and she was like his, daughter. And they're like, little do they know that he never had a daughter. By the time they figure it out, I'll be long gone. They never figure it out in this season. It feels like a throwaway line, because it was pretty early on in the season. I don't remember the exact episode, though. Maybe they'll mention it in season 2. I hope they do. Scrappy Doo is mentioned. He's just made fun of. Poor Scrappy. I still don't get why the Scooby Doo fandom hates Scrappy so much when he brought Scooby Doo back to life originally. The show was dying, they needed a new character. Scrappy brought new eyes to the project, but now he's just a very hated character. It'll never make sense to me. I also have a whole episode that kind of broke the vibe of Mystery Incorporated. It was more of just, a tribute to the older Scooby Doo projects. How Scooby Doo used to be and how they're changing it. But it is a bit too goofy for me. Scooby Doo is sick. So he has a dream, and it's all the sidekicks from like older projects like the 60s and 70s shows. Like we got that one ghost dude, the Funky Phantom, and that car that honks and talks and stuff. A caveman and a shark. I barely remember them, but I do remember watching some of them in my childhood when I would watch the Boomerang channel on cable. But they weren't very memorable, and I didn't care for them in this show. It kind of broke the vibe of Mystery Incorporated, too. But, yeah, that's about it for this season, I guess.